Teferi pluses. Looking for Alrund. Haven can go. Discontinuity goes out. We end the turn. Teferi's ready to take double turns. Our turn. Oh, that's not it. So, we are left in a very weird position. Let's just do it. Right, Behold the Multiverse will find us, Alrund. Hello again, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, ghouls and goblins, however you self-identify. Thanks for taking the time to watch Hello Good Game. Whether this is your first video or you've been part of the Wolf Pack for a while, I salute you and appreciate you with my whole heart skis. Today, we are playing Simic Ramp in Magic the Gathering Arena. Simic is the color combination of green and blue. Ramp signifies to a sub-archetype of midrange decks, focusing around playing lots of resources and utilizing heavy mana cost spells. Within this deck, we are looking to take multiple turns, turn after turn after turn. The deck is called the Turn Summoner. We'll break down the list, talk about each individual card, the strengths, weaknesses, why it was chosen to be included in the deck. Next, we'll move into our strategies and synergies, breaking down all of the, play lines that you'll be looking for within your matches, right? So your turn 1, your turn 2, turn 3, your optimal play lines, and then discussing how all of those strategies and synergies kind of come together to get us our overall arcing game plan. Just so you know how the deck operates effectively and efficiently before we get into it, so you know what you're looking for. Moving forward, we'll break down the gameplay footage. All of our playlines and interactions get discussed, so you guys can see firsthand whether or not this is a deck that you want to be spending your wildcards on. With that being said, thank you again for your time and attention. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share the channel to all of your friends and MTG playgroups to help support the channel. Let's get into it. The Turn Summoner is a 61 card deck with an average converted mana cost of 4.3, 29 non-creatures, 8 creatures with 24 lands, a few MDFCs in here as well, bringing us to 26. Breaking down the deck list, we have 2 copies of Into the Roil, instant speed for 2. Return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand. If this spell was kicked, draw a card. To kick the spell, it will cost an additional 2 for a total of 4. This is great to prolong the matches as we don't have any interaction early game. The best we can do is bounce our opponent's threats back to their hand to help us survive a few more turns to get into our more powerful spells. 2 copies of Negate at instant speed, counter target on creature spell. This will counter anything that's not a creature, from artifact, enchantment, planeswalker, instant sorcery, you name it, anything non-creature. In this specific deck, we are taking care of ultimatums. We are taking care of Ugins. Field wipes don't really affect us. We may want to stop any of our opponent's value engines, whether they're going for a Great Henge, potentially an Ember Cleave, something like this of high value. It's just a nice protection to ensure that, we remain in control throughout the match. 4 copies of Wolfwillow Haven. This is a enchantment that goes onto one of our land, allowing it to tap for an additional forest. We can pay 5, sacrifice it, create a 2/2 token on our turn. Not that bad, but definitely very expensive and not our first option. But late game, if all we're doing is top decking land, sure, bring out a 2/2 and it can chump block and help you survive a few more turns. Into our 3 drops now, we have 4 copies of Brazen Borrower, a 3/1 with flash and flying. It can only block other flyers, so we do need to take that into account. The most important part about this card is the damage that it can put out to our opponent. If we're taking multiple turns and we have a 3-1 in play, that's going to be a lot of damage. It also has Petty Theft at instant speed as the adventure for 2 mana. Return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand. Sure, we do have to take note that it's non-land. You can't bounce a Faceless Haven. We've seen that in the other day, or in the other day's video. But yeah, this is great for the same reason that Into the Roil is great. Offsetting our opponent's threats. Again, getting positive mana conversion. Petty Theft is 2 mana. If we can bounce something with 4 mana or with 5 mana, now we're gaining that little bit of advantage, which is quite nice. Moving forward, 2 copies of Saw It Coming at instant speed, counter target spell, foretell for 2 mana. Again, similar to Negate, but this can counter anything, even creatures, which typically we're not really worried about, but it could be something with haste. And now that's the kind of creature that actually can give us problems, whether it be a questing beast or a Vorinclex, you know, even Goldspan Dragon, for all I'm concerned, really should be dealt with right away to help us from, you know, taking that damage. Again, Into the Roil can work, Brazen Borrower can work, but we're not gaining much advantage. All we're getting through that is the mana advantage. We're not really gaining any time, because typically, you know, the card comes in play, it has Summoning Sickness leaves, then we bounce it when they're going to attack. With haste, no Summoning Sickness, so we're bouncing it. Sure, it goes to their hand that turn, but what about next turn when they replay it with haste again, right? That's a losing battle for us. So some creatures do need to be countered, and that's what Saw It Coming is for. And again, it can double down as a negate and counter anything. 4 copies of Cultivate at sorcery speed for 3 mana. Search your library for up to 2 basic land cards, reveal them, put one into the battlefield tapped, the other goes into your hand. Just classic ramp. Into our 4 drops now, we have 2 copies of Migration Path, sorcery speed. Search your library for 2 basic land cards, put them into the battlefield tapped, and then shuffle your library. Cycling for 2. We will cycle this if we already have, you know, 7, 8 land in play. We don't need to grab 2 more. Let's just toss it into the grave, pull a new card off the top, and hopefully it's something better. If not, you know, there's nothing better than dropping Wolfwillow on turn 2, and then on turn 3, it's Migration Path. You know, that's amazing. And then on, you know, turn 4, you've got 6 available mana potentially, which is pretty oppressive sometimes. Moving forward, we do have 2 copies of Teferi, Master of Time. Now, this is a Planeswalker I think I'm going to be using a lot more in the future. Having just such a great time with it. 3 loyalty when he enters, so a little bit flimsy, but you can activate his loyalty abilities on each player's turn at instant speed, which is great. +1, draw a card, then discard a card. -3, target creature you don't control phases out. And -10, you take 2 extra turns after this one. 2 copies of Behold the Multiverse, instant speed, scry 2, then draw 2 cards, foretell for 2. Anything with foretell, we cast into exile for 2 mana of colorless origin. And then we can replay it at a later time with the same speed from foretell with whatever its foretell cost was. So Behold the Multiverse, you know, exiling it for 2 and then replaying it for 2. Saw It Coming, exiling it for 2 and then replaying it for 2. So you see how Saw It Coming, the price overall increases, but Behold the Multiverse, the price actually stays the same, which both are fine, but Behold the Multiverse is quite excellent in my opinion for that reason. Moving on now to our 6 drops and 7 drops. Discontinuity is a 6-drop instant. As long as it's our turn, it will cost 4 less to cast, so just 2 on our own turn. We have a pretty funny play with that today. It ends the turn. No matter what's happening, it just ends the turn. There's a couple really cool ways to use this. Of course, we can use it as a counter spell whenever our opponent tries to play something. You know, we just counter spell it, their turn ends, right? That's great. That's not bad. Better yet, you know, if they don't have counter magic, if we know that there's no counter spells to be worried about, we can put a stop on their upkeep. We can use Teferi's Plus at any time on their turn, their upkeep, and then we can immediately end their turn before their draw step. They won't get to draw a card if you end their turn on their upkeep. Very, very nice and slick tech that's going to throw people off guard. 4 copies of Alrund's Epiphany, sorcery speed for 7, foretell for 6. create 2 1/1 blue birds with flying, take an extra turn, and then exile the Epiphany. Absolutely amazing. We just want to string this together on top of Teferi. That helps Teferi push up. We have Discontinuity, which is going to help that whole situation as well. And then, of course, Cyclone Summoner for 7, a 7/7. When it enters the battlefield, if you cast it from your hand, exile all permanents to their owner's hand, except for giants, wizards, and lands. Oh my gosh, this is so good. First of all, bouncing all of our opponents' permanents to their hand is worth more than 7 mana most times. And we get a great body, even if they have haste. We've got a defender. Perfect. Every mana now needs to be respent. So if they've got, say, 5 or 6 mana, because we're ramping, we should be ahead of them. They might have 2 to 3 permanents in play, totaling, 10 mana, right? They cannot replay all 3 of them in their next turn. Unless it's an aggro deck, they have got lots of small drops. But it's going to stifle them, right? It's not quite a free turn, but it is pretty close, right? They get to respend their mana, sure, but they have lost so much value, it's not even funny. 2 copies of Seagate Restoration for 7. Draw cards equal to the number of cards in your hand, +1, and then you have no maximum hand size for the rest of the game. I absolutely love it. We're ramping, we have plenty of mana, the hand stays relatively full, and we get a massive draw, helping us draw the summoners, Alrund, Discontinuity, so many things. It's good. 11 islands, 9 forests, 4 pathways, no sideboard. It's best of 1. We do have 61 cards in the deck. To recap, our main objective is to ramp to 7 mana as quickly as possible. And then we have the Cyclone Summoner to just reset the field, at which point, Teferi is in play, getting the +1s. We're taking double turns with our Epiphany. We have our Continuity in play as well, so that should help Teferi get to his -10. And, it's really easier than it looks. This deck has a 100% win rate in Mythic for us. Even with my misplays that I'm always making, it just overpowers every deck that we seem to run into. I love Teferi. It's really good. The double turn allows you to do weird things like the Seagate, which typically spends all of our mana. All we're doing is drawing. Not good. Unless we're taking 2 turns in a row, that second turn we take, can be spent just drawing a whole bunch of cards. And then the next turn, mana untaps. We have Alrund's Epiphany in hand now because of the massive draw. And we can just kind of lay in that way. Get the Ravens in play. Get the Borrowers in play. Start attacking in the air. And close out the game if they don't just concede. Other really cool synergies. The Cyclone Summoner and Brazen Borrower. We can Petty Theft, then we can play the Borrower, then we can Cyclone, push the Borrower back to our hand, and reuse Petty Theft, gaining even more of a tempo advantage, which is really a lot of fun. Again, I want to recap one more time. Ramp into the Summoner, Teferi in play, Continuity, Epiphany, Restoration, more Continuity, more Epiphany, Teferi, double turns, triple turns, quadruple turns. I would love to know in the comments how many turns in a row were you guys able to accumulate with this Simic turn summoner deck. Thank you so much for your time and attention. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share the channel to all of your friends and MTG playgroups. Support financially if you can afford to do so on Twitch, Patreon, YouTube, our Amazon link, and our Grey Viking Games link. Of course, you can buy your day-to-day goods through our Amazon link, and I get 3%, which is not a lot, but if everybody does it, it adds up. And of course, 15% through the Grey Viking Games, selling MTG Arena codes, cosmetics, packs, avatars, pets, you name it, they've got it. Check them out. All of the links for everything is in my link tree. Of course, that can be found on Google, Hello Good Game Linktree, and it is in the description below. Download Magic the Gathering Arena Assistant when you visit it. It's a must-have addition to the game, whether it's metagame analysis, your own deck statistics, collection information, or my favorite, the Deck Advisor, which analyzes your personal collection and will recommend decks for you to play so you don't have to spend wildcards. You'll see I own all of these cards, and down here, as we sort through them, I'm missing some of these cards. So if you're new to the game, check it out. It's a must-have. Link in my link tree. Thanks again for your time and attention. We're going to get into today's gameplay footage, and we'll see you soon with our wrap-up thoughts. Going first, 3 land, Cultivate, Cyclone Summoner. Does it get any better? Oh wait, it does. It gets even better. We're playing against rogues. And now if you know me, you'll know that I love playing against rogues every day of my life. Let's farm some rogue meat. Oh, it's mono black enchantments. Straight out of left hand field. Wow, okay. Interesting. The plot thickens. I don't care. I just do not care. Land and play. And a vessel. Annoying. And I hate it. Let's bounce the Eidolon. Right? Then if they have village rights, they're like, well, I want to sacrifice the vessel, not the Eidolon. And that still makes them want to fizzle the borrower, but they don't, right? And we know they have it because they were like waiting. You can see that. Deciding what they wanted to do. Personally, I want to ramp on up. Just take one of each. I'm not sure it matters. 2 Cyclone Summoners is decent. And I'm not sure there's any auras that kill this. Sure, they bring it down in size, but I don't think anything really kills it. So Eidolon back in play. Vessel in play ×2. Forest in play, we're at 5. Next turn we play to 6. Let's just go all out. Cultivate after cultivate. Yes, 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 yes. So they get really lucky, right? They have a lot of cards to play in quick succession. All right, first village rights has been popped on the vessel. Let's see if they bring it right back. No, they just want damage in the life gain. Lurrus comes over. I'm gonna push Teferi out, take the draw, toss the land. End our turn. Flash the borrower into play. Really? Okay, so Teferi actually gets to plus again here. They're not hitting our life points. We have 7 land. So let's toss the land. End our turn. And their turn, I guess. Okay, Lurrus in play. And now they're going to play the demon, but it gets exiled. And that's really good for us, right? Borrower is in play. Teferi uses the plus ability for the draw. Land can go. Let's Cyclone Summon. Push everything back. Right? We'll take a turn off. And I'm going to use Seagate Restoration. Take a massive draw. And then we should have our all runs in hand, and we should kind of be able to fold out from there. They are in a nice... Oh! Rakdos. A little red in play. Unexpected, but respected. I like that. That's a class act. I like that. Let's see where it gets us. You know, the 7/7 needs targeted removal. There's lots of it. Anything from a Heartless Act, a Kicked Blood Chief's Thirst. Lure us right in. Okay. Oh, we should have kept that in hand. Idiot. Whoops. So we miss out on one card here. We do get an Epiphany. No attacks. We do have Alrund over here. Okay, Myers Grasp times 1. Myers Grasp times 2. Dead weight for the combo! Woo! All right, all right, all right. That was hot. That works so hot right now. They're up to 35. We're down to 9. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. We have 9, which isn't enough. Let's giant in. Oh. I don't know how. Oh, they just go for the vessel. Okay. Resolve. We could have ended the turn there, but then we wouldn't have got the summon bounce. And I think we just want to, like, stack mana, right? Nine life. They're at 35. We're starting to assemble. We want to get Teferi in play before we start using Alrund and Discontinuity, right? And then we can combo all of those turns together. We also need our opponent not to surrender. This is one of those long cons. Oh, that gets into our hand. Nice. But when they see our hand, they're going to be like, oh. Right? Oh. Uh-oh. Take Teferi. You may as well. I don't know. It doesn't matter what you take. I'm bouncing it all. They take Discontinuity. Good game. They might scoop. They might scoop. Don't scoop. Let us go into oblivion. It's a good game. Let's keep going. No. Okay, they're out of mana. We have 9, 10 available mana. It's not enough. It's not quite enough. It's a bit of mana. A bit of cards in our hand. I wonder if they have a backup plan. And maybe they're thinking I don't. Just play the game out, bro. No! Oh. Come on. We play Teferi turn after turn after turn, right? Ah. That's what makes me so sad about, you know, these super mid-range combo decks. People are just like, they're not into it once they know it's happening. So you never really actually get the reward that you're looking for from it. All right, we're actually going to toss this. This looks a lot better. Saw it coming, can go. It's funny, our opponent waited, you know, that 5 minutes to look for us, to find our stream. They couldn't find it. We started recording not on stream. Ha! Not so clever now, are you, Mr. Sniper? Right? Because when people recognize the name, it's like, okay, this guy's always on Twitch working. Let me go check out that hand. I get it. Advantage. I wish I got free advantage in life. That'd be sick. Unfortunately, I don't. I gotta work for it. We do drop our migration path, though. There's nothing like a Wolfwillow on turn 2 into a migration on turn 3. But, oh, Yorion just gets moved over. No counterspell to worry about. Interesting. Can we get Teferi out and then protect it? Right? Because until we get some stuff in hand... Ooh. Ooh. We have 6 mana. Just ramping. Ramp, ramp, ramp. A lot of our important cards are now tossed over. Oh, they don't like how much we're ramping. They're like, no, 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 no. 6 is enough. First negate out of the way. Binding takes an enchantment. We need to top deck a land. We do. They're tapped out here. An extra turn's pretty good. Let's just take it. Even though we're not really capitalizing off of a Teferi.
Let's make this quick. Ideas, like seconds, are fleeting.
Let's toss the borrowers. They get a land. Pretty good. Basically a free turn, as far as I'm concerned, right? I think Saltite free turns would be good. Like, if we were using Binding with all of the free turns. Gentlemen play. They take a draw here, I'm guessing? Nice. Teferi keeps going up. We should have played Teferi first, before Alrund. I was nervous.
I do love a good puzzle.
Getting rid of the land.
Don't worry, I'll think of something.
They can take their draw here, maybe. We should be able to double turn off of Teferi through the Discontinuities. Take our damage down to 16. End our turn. Having this negate is interesting. Resolve. Teferi goes up. Oh my gosh. Negate goes. Death Touch is irrelevant. We're not going to let them take these out of our hands, so we'll just stop it. right? It's the exact same as it would have been. Teferi goes back into plus mode.
Ideas like seconds.
Ooh. Let's take our hit. And our turn. We'll keep this for us to discard with the Teferi in case we pull something good. Because we don't want to toss these. It's our still turn. It's still our turn. Oh my gosh, you guys. Does anyone else play this game with dyslexia? You know, I can't even do left from rights. I don't know how I make content for this game. Really? Okay, so let's plus Teferi first. We toss a land. And now we just stop it. Teferi goes up. He's at 10. We're taking double turns.
Ideas like seconds are fleeting.
Let's take the hit. And our turn. If we set a stop, can we use our Teferi before their draw? We can. So let's plus here.
Time to improvise.
But they could have counter magic. And I don't want to fall for that. We should have waited on Teferi. But they don't have counter magic with that little mana. So we get lucky. Teferi survives. Rock and roll. Shout out to Discontinuity. I have a hard time saying that. Discontinuity. Oh my gosh. Let's double turn it.
I'm a master, and here's my master.
We take our hits. Down to 10. Take our draw. Looking for Alrund's Epiphany. We have them in deck somewhere. Land in. Our turn. Seagate Restoration just goes out. Massive draw. Looking for Alrund. Not massive draw, but, you know. What, 3-card draw? Oh, a couple lands. Let's use Teferi's Plus. We'll discard a land. Wow. We have another turn after this one, thankfully. Haven goes out. Oof, skis. Our turn again. Okay, saw it coming's nice. Teferi goes up.
Time to improvise.
Ooh, there it is. How's this for a deck? I love it. Oh my gosh. Soft slot coming over. Yeah, cheaper counterspell. Can we get another Alrund? No.
I'll think of something.
Cultivate can go. They go up in 4 life, remember, from the tome? This is so expensive. Let's end our turn. We could flash the Borrower in. We also have a draw through Teferi here as well. We have 2 more Allruns as well. That's a good game. That's a flawless victory. Wow. Can we get an all-round off the top? No. Summoner can go. They do have life gain, remember, right? That's why we flash in here. That should be enough damage for victory. They're pretty upset. They're looking at our library. They're like, what is this madness? And how did they play 3 discontinuities in a row? Right? Which was like an epiphany into 3 discontinuities. Discontinuities. There we go. Gotta take all of our interactions. I need another Alrund. Not quite. It's not Alrund. Neither's that. Maybe we can get it here? Come on, Alrund.
Don't worry, I'll think of something.
Can we find it here? We'll take lethal after this. I just want to see if we can find it. No, we don't get it. We went for a dig as well. A dig-a-lig. We could double cast these Wolfwillows, right? But it just doesn't matter. Woo! I always knew you were good, Teferi. Okay, here's the true test. Our opponent's on the play. Hello, good game. Check out these Flip sleeves through our great Viking Games link. Description below. Haven turn 2. Path turn 3. Then we're just looking for a Cyclone Summoner, right? .5%. This can be a blue source. Path pulls 2 more blue sources. Oh! Two islands. That puts us at 5, 6 mana. Force is 7. We are ready to rip. The sad thing is Teferi probably won't survive. Oh my gosh. Oh my lord. We really need that Cyclone Summoner. I mean, we do have Petty Theft.
My skills are aged. Think fast.
Let's pass our turn. Teferi can plus, we'll bounce the blade. We'll only take 2, and we go up by 1. So we settle at 3. Okay, that is good. We could just self-sack Teferi, let them have it if they go all into it, right? They need to hit our health points. Let's go big.
Don't worry, I'll think of something.
Toss the land. We take 6 down to 4. Yikes. Teferi goes up.
Think fast.
Negate leaves. Epiphany goes out. Oh, they get this turn here. Oh, yeah. Okay. Teferi plus.
Ideas, like seconds, are fleeting.
Saw it coming, can go. We hit for 2. End our turn. Plus Teferi. Resolve.
I do love a good puzzle.
Oh, I like that. Let's toss Into the Roil. End their turn. We're gonna need a lot more than that, though, bro. We're down on 4 life. Teferi looking for Alrund.
Ideas, like seconds, are fleeting.
Land can go. We take our hit. End our turn. Teferi pluses. Looking for Alrund.
I do love a good puzzle.
Haven can go. Discontinuity goes out. We end the turn. Teferi's ready to take double turns. Our turn. Oh, that's not it. So, we are left in a very weird position. Let's just do it. Right, Behold the Multiverse will find us Alrund.
Time.
That's all we're looking for. Discontinuity is good. Deep breaths. Really? Where is it? Okay, we're in trouble. I was hoping to find those a lot easier. Really? No, 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 no! That's not Into the Roil! Oh my gosh. That is sad. That was supposed to be Into the Roil. That was straight up misdraw off of my hand. Ah! That sucks. Hang my head in shame. Oh my god. Don't do it like that. Oh. Into the Roil and Discontinuity look so similar. Yeah, don't care. It's their turn. Biggest misplay of my life. Sure. We're looking for a Cyclone Giant here. Oh, God. Oh, Into the Roil. Nice. Just the card I wanted. It happens. It happens. For life. Again, we should have cast this before playing the land. That's a really bad habit. A really bad habit. Okay. We just got everything we needed. Let's see how this unfolds for us. Things are going to cost more, though, right? Non-creature spells your opponents cast with 4 more. Okay. But we have lots of mana, so that's not the... It doesn't hurt. They want to use Faceless Haven. We can only block something with flying with the Borrower. But we have 2 chump blockers, so we should be okay. Okay, 4/2 Vigilance. I'm nervous. I didn't mean to misdrop that Discontinuity. That is, like, so sad. Right? Like, I want to cry. It's a good thing this is not, like, a high-stake tournament. The shield. We bounce the blade. We have to cast it down before the shield is in play. Or else it would just be countered. We're taking 2 damage. We're taking 2 damage, ladies and gentlemen. Or do we? I don't think we are. I think we just bounce everything. It's expensive. We have 5 mana up. They have no... Oh, they have the Haven. Okay. We are risking it for the biscuit. Down to 4 life. We have a double turn after, you know, a massive misplay. Which hurts. A couple of misplays too. Not just one. It's fine though. That's going to take up the majority of their turn. They can play the 2 saviors or the blade. They go 2 saviors. Oh, Elsaid. Do they have a land? No. Wow. This card wins games. What a match. We have straight up lethal. Wow. We still came through with it. That's how powerful the deck is. This Cyclone Summoner is sick. And we had another turn after that. You know, only 22 cards in our deck, which means that, you know, those other cards that we need are closer to the top. I love it. I'm absolutely in love. We just got to make sure we don't mess up Into the Roil and Discontinuity. Wow. Okay, so I'm absolutely loving it. I had played this deck twice already. Oh, variations of it. The Summoner is a must. I think Teferi has been overlooked. Lots of people haven't been playing Teferi. I think Teferi has amazing synergy with the Discontinuity. That seems to be working very well because you can set the stop, use Teferi, then end their turn immediately before their draw. So I would like to move up to 3 copies of Teferi, 4 copies of the Continuity, and maybe isolate Slot coming out of the deck, and maybe even potentially bring more Behold the Multiverse. And I would also like to see more Seagate restorations. So there's going to be a few edits that we make to the deck, potentially dropping a Cultivate for a migration path as well. Little tweaks are going to be coming down the pipeline to you guys, but as far as, you know, the current version, what I'm working with and playing with right now, this is it. It's working fantastic, as you guys seen. Decklist is in the description below. You can copy and paste it, or there's the Aether Hub link if you want. Support the channel with your likes, comments, subscriptions, and shares, whether it be to your personal friends or your MTG playgroups. Show me to your local game store and let them know that I'm looking for sponsors, and I could yell out their game shop if they want. Primarily Friday night codes I want from a shop, so I can start giving those away free of charge, right? I just would hand those out to the community, so it is in your best interest possibly, because they might not give you a stack of them, but they could potentially give me a stack of them through you, right? Cool beans. Thank you guys so much. You're amazing. If you're, you know, Mr. Moneybags and you don't need the Friday night codes, you can just support financially on Twitch, Patreon, YouTube by buying your day-to-day goods through our Amazon link, and of course your Grey Viking Games or MTG Arena codes through that link as well. Everything Hello Good Game Linktree. You can Google it, or it's in the description below. Cheers. I hope you guys have an amazing day, and of course I'm back in just 11 hours. And a reminder, if you're new to the channel, we have live premieres every day. These videos go out live. If you're on them live, there's no ads. First bonus. Second bonus, I give out $10 every single video if it gets 100 likes during the live. So you skip ads, you can win some money. And thirdly, there's a live chat. The community is talking the entire time, which is a lot of fun. So it's really, you know, the VIP experience, if you will. Cheers to you. Again, back in 11 hours. Have a great day. We'll see you then. Maybe watch some more videos, huh? Take care, you guys.